2.
Hey, good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia. We are at Blue Jeans Pizza, right? Blue Jeans Pizza in downtown Blue Ridge. I'm your host, BKP. Friday morning, every Friday morning, 8 a.m. You can find us here. Beautiful fall morning. Oh, I tell you what, you want to come up and visit us this weekend. We have so much going on. We have Paul's in the Park from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. It is great. We will have the biggest dog parade in North Georgia. That's what we'll call it, the biggest dog parade in North Georgia. Bring your puppy down and walk the whole town here. We have a pet parade. We have a pet costume contest. We have a 5K in the morning. It's all going on. Beautiful fall weather. We have the Apple Festival in Ellijay that we will have a booth. FYN TV, come by and see us there. Just a lot going on. And what all do we have happening? What all do we have happening this morning? Let's see. We have 8:15. We have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. You know, what is walking pneumonia? You hear walking pneumonia. Well, what exactly is walking pneumonia, and how is it different from regular ammonia? Pneumonia. Oh my God. Whoa, is it going to be that kind of day? Pneumonia. Did I get ammonia? That's the stuff what the heck. Anyhow. Sam, don't laugh over there. I mean, it wasn't that funny, okay? You don't have to enjoy it that much. My gosh. Sam and Rose, back away. Anyhow, that will be at 8:15, Ask the Doc. At 8:45, it'll be around 8:45, we'll have our all-star political panel with Rick and Bruce and your host here, BKP. We'll talk politics for about 30, 40 minutes. And then at 9:30, Jason Banks is going to stop by. He's the director of Team FYN Sports. And it's Fetch Football Friday. We're going to talk about high school football. We do a little preview, and we always end Friday with our star of the show, Pet of the Week from the Humane Society in Blue Ridge. Now, yesterday, before I get Dr. Whaley in here, it's kind of, because you're watching us on your TV, on your computer, through the internet, sometimes it's tough to come out and say, shut the TV down or shut the noise down. So I'm just going to recommend read a good book. How about find a good book in the beautiful fall weather this weekend and read a good book for a minute and stop the noise. Oh my gosh, stop the noise. Read a good, this is one I happen to be in. If you must know, I can hear you asking out there. I'm only up to page 100. I just really started this one, Dereliction of Duty by H.R. McMaster, and it's about the Vietnam War. So I'm up to 100 in that one, and I'm up to 100 in about 4 books. I got to stop that and just get through one. But anyhow, read a good book this weekend, okay? Turn off the noise. Now, who do you believe? Yesterday, we came on the show and put up, and we try to do a serious show on Friday and have a lot of fun. But put up, I'm going to say it just like it, put up over my shoulder the rodeo clown, okay? Now, this is the rodeo clown. This is Frederica Wilson, representative of Florida, North Miami, Frederica Wilson. I'm sorry, but she looks like a rodeo clown. She, every single day out there, okay? If you're tuned in and you don't like President Donald Trump, okay. No problem, you don't like him. If you don't like some things he does, okay. You don't like tweets, okay. But if you are so buried in the sand that you don't realize that the deep state, which I call it, the media, right, the corporatocracy, the globalist, if you're not picking up that on a daily basis, it is an intentional takedown of this President of the United States. Nothing he could do is right. To them, nothing. Okay? So Frederica Wilson, it's like every day when it comes to MSNBC, when it comes to CNN, ABC, so many of these media groups, every day, where have we gotten to when it's every day, we got him now. We got him now. Really? Every single day we live in a situation where somebody's out to get the president? We got him now. Look what he's done now. This'll end it today. Representative Frederica Wilson happened to be with LaDon, I forget, David Jones, or Johnson. Now, put up the four soldiers, because, excuse me here, I cannot see the pictures like I can in the office. Put up the 4 soldiers, okay? These are the 4 soldiers that died. And I'm telling you, I have about had it with politicizing our kids, okay? I really have. I mean, we send young men and women all over the world. And this is the lowest of the low, what happened. Now, these 4 young men, why did this have to be a racial situation? Why? I mean, it's real simple. The 4 young men that are dead, and that's just the facts. 4 calls were made. 4 calls. The President of the United States called the family members of these 4 men. What's the difference? 3 of the men are white, okay? 1 is a black young man, African American, okay? But 4 American soldiers. That's how we need to see it. The President of the United States called all their families. But what is the only one that sparked all the outrage? Sadly enough, the young man, the black young man, that's the one. His mom. That sparked the outrage. Okay? With who else? Representative Frederica Wilson from Florida. Now, who do you believe? All right? Who do you believe? Put up General John Kelly. Yesterday, I want to recommend to everyone out there, I know you're busy and you're running around, it's Friday, you're getting ready for the weekend or whatever's happening after work, you're already counting the minutes of when the clock goes off and you get to get out of there for the weekend wherever you're going today. But I want you to take 18 minutes and I want you to listen to General John Kelly. We're not going to play it this morning. I want you to listen to 4-star General John Kelly's press conference yesterday. It is one of the most wonderful 18 minutes, amazing, strong, powerful. It's an American 18 minutes. Every American should listen to this 18 minutes from this 4-star general. So all I'm going to ask you this morning, who do you believe? This general, is he still on the screen? This General John Kelly, right? 4-star, chief of staff. You'll understand if you listen to the press conference. Or are you going to believe this rodeo clown? And I know that sounds disrespectful. All right? I'm going to show you one other picture of 4 people. I'm sorry. I really get upset. We send our kids all over the world. And it's just really bothered me the way, these kids die for this country. They die for something. Or what the hell are they dying for? And it bothers me what takes place. Never forget. Do you have that picture? You remember the day Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, Glenn Doherty, and Tyrone Woods? You remember those 4? Do you believe they will come out and lie to you? Do you believe the media will come out and help support a lie? Remember what happened when these 4 got killed in Benghazi asking for help? Susan Rice went on every network that Sunday morning and lied to the American people. And the networks gave her a platform to lie to you that Sunday morning. Now put up these other 4 young men. Don't believe them, folks. Don't believe them. Okay? President of the United States made a phone call, all right, to the families of these 4 young men. And the lowest of the low, Frederica Wilson, representative of Miami. And the lowest of the low, the dirt in Congress and the media. It's 8:10. I got to get away from that subject. I can't take that subject. It bothers me. But I told you yesterday, they're lying to you. You understand? Stop letting them lie to you, folks. We tell you every single day they come on there and they lie to you and they try to figure out how to get the President of the United States. And I'm not even on here this morning advocating for you to like Donald Trump, care for Donald Trump, like his tweets. But I want you to separate the truth from the lies that the media comes on and tells you in the morning. I better move away from that. I just flat better move away from that. Okay, we're going to talk more about that with our all-star panel. Sorry, that's why I'm telling you, get away from the noise. Read a good book this weekend. Pick up a book, go out on the side porch. I do not recommend you try this at home. I do not recommend this to children. I do not recommend this at all. I sound like a Dr. Seuss book or something, right? I'm about ready to write a Dr. Seuss, but doctors are around. There are doctors in the house. I have to be careful, okay? But I recommend a cheap cigar, a good cigar, modest price cigar, whatever you can handle, and a good book this weekend. Turn off the noise. Okay, we have a lot going on today at 11 o'clock. Let me tell you this. The show's going to go off at 10, okay? Show's going to go off at 10, 8 to 10 like we normally do. But at 11, we're going to come back on, so you're going to want to stay fyntv.com. We're going to stay here in Blue Ridge in blue jeans, and we're going over to the big room, and we're going to set up because we have a special show today at 11 o'clock here. We have the chair commissioner of Union County, Lamar Paris, is going to be here. We have the chair commissioner of Fannin County, Stan Helton, is going to be here. We have the chair commissioner of Gilmer County, Charlie Paris, is going to be here. And we have the chair commissioner of Pickens County, Rob Jones. We have from Pickens County to Union County, all the commission chairs are going to be here. We're going to have a panel show for about 45 minutes before lunch at 11 o'clock. And we're going to talk about things going on in North Georgia, the economy in North Georgia, your roads in North Georgia. You name it, we're doing it. That's at 11 o'clock today, and you can catch that live. Is there anything I'm forgetting, Sam? Because that's a lot. What about you, Rose? Rose, are you paying attention? Just checking. Okay, we check and see if Rose is paying attention. Couple things. Folks, while the media is telling you that Frederica, some things coming up on the All-Star panel, while the media is telling you about this Frederica Wilson, have you caught on the security guard in Vegas made his way over to Ellen's show? Did you catch on to that? The security guard made it over to Ellen's show. How come Vegas fell off the front page of all the news? How come? I don't have time to dig into that. But people, you need to ask the questions. Something is not adding up in Vegas. I guess if it happens in Vegas, it stays in Vegas, because they're sure as hell not going to tell us. Ooh, I promise on Friday I use no bad words. Sorry. But I'm just saying. All right, I got to go. Hey, how about, did anybody tell you this week that unemployment claims are the lowest in 44 years? Did that make the front page? Did that make the headlines with Morning Joe and Minka? 44 years, the lowest unemployment claims. Just the kind of things. That's what we're going to be doing on the All-Star panel, 8:45. I've got to go get Dr. Whaley in here next. Pneumonia, I got it right? Walking pneumonia, what is it? Right after these messages.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Casey McGraw, the General Manager of Schottenkirk Ford. We're going to start doing something here at Schottenkirk that we're really excited about. You may have already noticed our Facebook page, the new edition of the 360-degree videos. This allows the user to control the video in virtual reality and see it from any angle you choose, simply by moving your device or scrolling with your finger or your mouse. At Schottenkirk, we've decided to take this groundbreaking technology and apply it to the car shopping experience. Now, if you're interested in a new truck, a family car, or a brand new convertible Mustang, you can simply log on to our Facebook page or our YouTube page and see it for yourself in full HD 360-degree detail. Or contact one of our sales associates who will send you the link directly. If you like what you see and want to take it for a test drive, simply stop on by and take it for a spin. At Schottenkirk Ford, we're committed to not only keep up with new market technology, but we strive to be innovators, while always keeping your comfort and convenience as our #1 priority. So follow us on Facebook, check out our new 360 VR videos, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Be sure to check out New Blue Home and Gift, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Find us on Twitter at New Blue Home. Everything beautiful for your home or a special gift can be found at New Blue Home and Gift. Call us today at 706-455-3873 or visit us at 531 East Main Street, Suite 103 in downtown Blue Ridge. Broken Bull, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing, is locally owned and operated. Our Simply Noel selection is the largest around. We have a great selection of unique clothing and several lines to choose from for men and women. We carry a beautiful variety of handmade jewelry from Blessed Be and others. All kinds of gifts, starting to carry shoes this fall as well. Come visit us on your next trip to Blue Ridge. We can't wait to meet you at Broken Bull, located in downtown Blue Ridge.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia. We're at Blue Jeans Pizza every Friday morning. And at this time, we have our segment called Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. We want to thank Georgia Cancer Specialist for this segment. How are you today, sir?
I'm great.
How about this weather? You like this weather?
I told you. I said last week we could have done this outside, except this morning I couldn't have done it. It was 38 degrees.
Well, I'm just going to say this. I don't know if they can hear this all the way across the room in 5 feet, but the ladies get over there and they start shivering and getting jackets.
Yeah. I like it better with the pizza smell.
Do you like the pizza
smell? Yeah, it's
smell?
good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
We want Rose and Sam not to have to shiver. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you. You were mentioning the fact that next week you're going to have a substitute in here, Dr. Jennifer Jones. You're going to love it. She's absolutely
Does she
gorgeous.
drink Tab?
No, she does not drink Tab.
I mean, there's a lot I got to get used to.
Yeah, she does.
You're switching gears on me.
I know she doesn't smoke cigars, but she's my boss.
Well, wait a minute.
She signs my
I
paycheck.
understand. But here, there's a couple important things. She
All right,
doesn't
go ahead.
smoke cigars. She won't drink. Does
She
she
won't
tell
Tab.
corny jokes?
No.
I mean, we're going to give her a chance. Though,
She might bring you
okay?
poetry or something.
Okay, we'll go with
She's
that.
a triathlete. She
Well-
does all the adventure races. Maybe she can come in an outfit and
All
talk
of
to
the
you about the
jokes.
jogging.
All of the jokes aside, I'm very excited. We're just joking because Dr. Tidman comes in and he always tells me
I know.
a couple corny jokes.
Very
and
corny
We're
jokes.
used to be very corny jokes. Dr. Tidman, we're sorry out there, but so no, we're looking forward.
All right.
Don't let me interrupt you. Now tell
Anyway,
us who
she's
we're going to have next week.
Okay, Dr. Jennifer Jones. She's the head of Georgia Cancer Specialists, all of the mountain regions. And, she has 50 employees and a bunch of doctors and stuff that work for her, and that's me. I work for her. She signs my paycheck. So treat her nice.
So you're telling me in front of everybody out there,
treat her
I
nice.
have to
Treat her nice, yeah, please.
Okay,
All right.
I'll work on all week long preparing
Okay.
my conduct to be appropriate.
Right, all right. Now, she might argue with you just a little, but she's not going to argue with you a bit about the politics. I wanted to say something about the book.
Okay.
All right, because if the obligatory thing to do when you're smoking a cigar in the mountains, and you live where I live, is to sit out on the porch where you can look at Brawley Mountain and look at the fog and have a book.
Okay.
So I read about 2 to 3 books every week, and I try to read 3 or so nonfiction and then a fiction book. And so I'm waiting around with bated breath until I think tomorrow when Newt's new book comes out. I think it's called Vengeance. Now, if you haven't read any Newt Gingrich fiction books, they all have all of these things that are quite likely to happen, like Muslim terrorism and the EMP bomb and all that sort of stuff. So I have no idea what's on his new book, but that's going to be my next nonfiction book, and it comes out in about 2 or 3 days.
Well, let me give you one author that I enjoyed, and he died of cancer a couple years ago.
Vince Flynn.
What? I didn't even get to set the timer.
That's all right. It's okay.
I have all his books.
I've read them all. Yeah.
Do you like them?
Yeah, generally.
Do you like Mitch Rapp?
I love Mitch Rapp, but generally
Oh, no,
when I read a book,
I love Mitch Rapp.
When I read a book, then I go on Amazon and I get all of them, and then I buy them and I read them in order. So I may have read Jack Reacher. I read about the 4th book, and then I went back and started reading all the books. And then the Jack Reacher books, at the very end, they go back and start giving you some prequel stuff. Anyway,
well, wait, one more
Well,
time.
now,
We
wait a
can't
minute.
gloss over this.
All right, go ahead.
When Vince Flynn would write a book, he would have to send it in to the White House for clearance because
Yeah.
he wrote a lot of CIA. They actually called him in on one book and asked him, "Where do you get this information?"
How did you know that?
Yes,
I
how
remember
did you know that?
How did
Remember
you
that?
know? Yeah, I remember that.
Okay,
All
we'll
right.
move along.
I want to say one thing about Trump's calling the.
Please do.
I will. Our war, we had 50,000 killed. Nobody called anybody. You got pretty much of a form letter saying the president and the Congress are.
Right.
One of my high school girlfriend's brother, who I knew real well, was 2 years younger than I. They've never recovered his body. His name was Tom Condrey, and he was shot down in the Al-Shal Valley, and the MIA people have gone in there 2 or 3 times. But I was in Vietnam when he was shot down and killed. He was an Army helicopter pilot. Not getting able to repatriate remains, even if it's World War II and they bring them back today, it's sad if you can't get the body back. But I have been on the Delta airplane when they've landed in Atlanta, or I think the other time I landed in Salt Lake City to offload a body. And there was a recent thing in the news about some woman wanted to sing the Star Spangled Banner on the airplane. They said Delta wouldn't let her sing it. That wasn't true. But it's a real emotional event to be sitting on an airplane and you see a guy in full dress uniform. That every time I've ever been on one, it was a Marine, riding in the coach section of the plane, or sometimes they might upgrade him to Delta Comforter first class, who is accompanying that body. And when that plane lands, you don't know anything about it. I know when I get on there and see that guy, I know there's a body on the plane.
Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing that up because that is the, yes, go ahead.
I know there's a body on the plane.
Absolutely.
So when then they land, and I've been in the cockpit, when I used to fly in the cockpit, when this happens, the pilot will say, would all the passengers please remain seated? We have a Marine sergeant on board who's accompanying the remains of a comrade, and he will be offloaded, and there'll be a ceremony off the right-hand side of the plane if you'd like to watch. He will open the doors for deplaning when the soldier has left the plane. So he leaves the plane, goes down the steps, goes outside. Then they open the door for deplaning. You'd be surprised how many people don't leave the plane and sit on the plane and look through the window. A lot of times, if it's business people, they got to go get off and get to a meeting. But people will sit there and look out that window as that flag-draped coffin, I'm having trouble with this, comes down the baggage ramp and is picked up. And there's a bunch of Delta employees there, all standing, some pilots, flight attendants, mechanics, but generally all of them are veterans. And then there's the honor guard. It's just very, very impressive. And this whole thing is so emotional that for the media to make something out of it, other than just honoring the families and honoring those people, is just not right. I don't.
General
there's
John
just-
Kelly said yesterday there's just no real correct way to make the call, and he told the president, it's like, what he meant by what I think he meant by that was like there's really no words.
No.
And
everyone's going to go different.
So why people are being so negative that the President of the United States picked up the phone to call the family, I understand what you're saying. I watched all 18 minutes, and I recommend this morning that every American take 18 minutes and watch General John Kelly yesterday, which, let's remind everybody, he lost his son in Afghanistan.
Well, Dr. Jones and I have to tell people every day, you've got cancer and it's returned, and this is not going to turn out well. And this is my 50th year of doing it. And that discussion never goes the same in any two patients. And it's an emotional time for us and it's an emotional time for them. And sometimes it doesn't go as well as it could, and you just try your best. Let's get on to the questions.
Let's go back to read a good book.
Let's go back to athlete's foot or walking pneumonia.
There
or
you
something.
go. Let's start this morning, and I read the questions this past week, and I've always thought this, but I just never asked it, so I'm going to this morning. What is walking pneumonia, and how is it different than regular pneumonia? When somebody says, you're going to keep it up, you're going to have walking pneumonia, what is the difference?
All right.
What's the difference?
Well, you have boogie-woogie flu.
Wait a minute. I know you didn't say that. You got to give me a second.
All right.
Nobody can go out with boogie-woogie flu and just roll.
All
keep
right,
going, okay? All right, now let's go.
All right. First of all, we've gone through this before. Pneumonia is a non-specific description of an inflammatory process within the lung. I'll go back to the fact that itis means it's inflamed. So dermatitis can be poison ivy or acne or whatever. So pneumonia just means there's something in the lung that's inflammatory. Classic pneumonia, for which I have recommended almost every week for the last month that people over age 50 and people with diabetes and chronic lung disease take that pneumonia 13 shot that's advertised on television. That kind of pneumonia, which is pneumococcal pneumonia, is bacterial pneumonia and generally has its onset with high fever, pain in the chest, bad cough, and you're sick as a dadgum dog, and you go to the emergency room and there's no doubt that you have that you've got pneumonia. So that's pneumococcal bacterial pneumonia. Most infections within the lung aren't that. So the idea of walking pneumonia, I've got a list. I wasn't going to bother you with it, but there are 18 different things that cause walking pneumonia, and that basically is a slow onset disease, begins with aching, sinusitis, laryngitis, progresses then to cough. It can last for weeks, and you just don't feel right, and you go see your doctor, but you haven't had that fever of 101.5 or 102. You haven't had the teeth-rattling chill. You haven't had the really bad localized pain within the chest. You're not coughing up green, bad-looking, or even bloody-looking stuff like regular pneumonia. Most cases, in terms of percentage, about 35% of those are caused by chlamydia. We have talked about chlamydia long before when we were talking about non-sexually transmitted diseases that aren't in the sexually transmitted disease category. And that's kind of slow of onset. Chlamydia is a peculiar little germ that lives inside the cell, and the other ones that you're familiar with are like Legionnaire's disease and some of these other things, all of which cause a rather slow onset. You go to the doctor, he'll take a chest x-ray, and it's not going to show one big chunk of, looks like a pizza pie of inflammation. It can show nothing, or it can show just little patches everywhere, and the radiologist kind of covers himself and says there's some non-specific changes, and then you're sort of stuck. At that point, this could be viral, it could be chlamydia. You don't just cough in a cup and make a diagnosis of chlamydia. CDC recommends you don't even try to fool with it. If it's in your home or in a workplace, 35% of the people exposed to it will get antibodies to it, but all 35% won't be sick. So walking pneumonia, it can be viral, it can be chlamydia, it can be anything else. It's slow in onset, and you're not devastatingly ill. So that's why they call it walking pneumonia. Now, the rest of the question was, do I have to go see a doctor? And the answer is, once this thing has lasted for a week or 10 days or so, yes. And is the doctor going to do any tests? And the answer is probably he will. One of them is going to do a blood count. But with the bad pneumonia, you've got a high white count. With a walking pneumonia, it's generally normal. And then he might take a chest x-ray and they come back and say, well, you don't have a bad case of pneumonia, but you've got a little of this and a little of that, and I'm going to give you an antibiotic. Now, when we continually tell people, don't go to the doctor and try and get an antibiotic for a cold because it's not any good, and if a guy writes you a prescription, you can get in trouble and get diarrhea and all the rest of that stuff. It is appropriate to treat this with antibiotics, and that's by definition the length of time that it's lasted, the series of symptoms that have occurred prior to the time you go, an x-ray that shows something, and then the treatment is real common. You hear it all the time. They gave me a Z-Pak, which happens to be azithromycin. That happens to be the most commonly used drug. Or they gave me doxycycline, the second most commonly used drug. And those people that have to be hospitalized, and only a few of them are going to get into the ICU, but the people that are going to get hospitalized generally tend to be the older, the diabetic, the people with other diseases. Then they give them IV antibiotics, and they give them the other ones that you're familiar with, ciprofloxacin and Levaquin, Cipro and Levaquin. So anyway, it is a condition and lastly, the immunizations for pneumonia, which are saving all these people's lives, protect you against that devastating pneumonia that I was mentioning, and there are about 23 strains of that we can immunize for. The common 13 are what we get in the common shot now. But this walking pneumonia, there is no preventative for. So chlamydia and all the rest of that stuff is community acquired. Oh, that's the other thing that you call walking pneumonia, the doctor calls community acquired pneumonia, meaning you're not devastated. So that's probably more than you wanted to know. But cough, fever, chest pain, shaking chills, and all that bad stuff, that's the real pneumonia. Is that enough? Is that enough?
Yeah, but
you want more?
I don't have a segue. You know, usually I like to go from pneumonia.
Well, you remember now when you.
I mean, I have a hard time from going from pneumonia to athlete's foot. I don't know a clear way to.
You know, my wife says when you ask Dr. Whaley the time, he tells you how to build a watch. You remember that?
You keep bringing the tab and the cigars. If you want to
do whatever I want. All right, I'm not going to build a watch because this is not athlete's foot. Read the question.
All right, I know.
Read quick. I have a rash on my toes.
I have a rash on my toes, and it's a little itchy. How long do I wait before a visit to my doctor?
With that set of symptoms, I think you wait for the rest of your life. You don't need to go see a doctor because your toes itch a little bit. And you know, I try to encourage people. They've got real good primary care in these mountains, and these doctors up here are used to seeing some bad looking feet. So when somebody walks in and says my toes itch a little bit, and you look at it and there's just a tiny little rash on there, they wish you'd stayed home. Now, Sam, you got the picture of the athlete's foot? There's not an athlete that hadn't had a foot. I don't know how bad that one looks, but it wasn't a picture that I sent. But, you know, running 40 miles a week for 40 years and wearing shoes and wandering around in the jungle in shoes, every man I know, particularly these men that work construction and stuff up here, have had things on their feet that look bad. You know, if it blisters and it gets red, if it's between your toes and it's kind of mushy and it's scaly and stuff, it's time to go to the doctor, because there are all kinds of different viruses that can cause athlete's foot. The doctor needs to make sure that it's a infectious process, and then he'll give you the appropriate topical or oral medication for it. Now, in the era of the Second World War, where the boots were still leather and not fabric, and people spent days in those boots. He could have been in Europe and not be in the jungle. they all got a type of military foot disease that actually for a lot of people turned out to be a formaldehyde local reaction from constant contact with the shoe and moisture and not getting a dry pair of socks. So that type of thing, it still occurs today because all of our athletic shoes and all the stuff, other thing else, have formaldehyde in the process, and that's not an infection, and putting foot powder on there ain't going to do any good, and that has to be seen by a doctor. And everybody remembers World War I. They all stood around up to their ankles in water, and they had trench foot and lost their feet. So the little rash on your toes and any itch, stay home. But once it gets to blistering or pain, redness, and all that, go see the doctor.
Okay.
Now that was probably more than you wanted to know, but the question is stay home. The itchy toes and a little bit of rash, don't go see the doctor.
All right, now this one was interesting to me because I actually had to go and look up and see if this was a real question. And I understand for those at home, you may understand. I did. I had to go say, all right, did somebody slip a trick question in on me, okay?
All right.
Could walking poles, I didn't know there was such thing, could walking poles help me get more out of my daily walk?
I think if you went walking with one of these tall blonde poles who plays volleyball in the Olympics, that it would be really helpful in the walk. I
tell you what, I went from boogie woogie flu to tall. All right.
It's a volleyball player. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
The answer to that question is actually yes, and I've mentioned here before, and this is going to bring me into exercise, which you always love. Article was published yesterday that even if you can't do the recommended amount of exercise, and you'll remember how many minutes is it a week of vigorous exercise like running? It's 75 to 90. And how many minutes is it of moderate exercise like walking at the pace of 3.5 or 4 miles in an hour? It's 5 hours. So you remember, your goal is to walk 5 hours a week if you're walking at a steady pace of 3.5 or 4 miles. If you're a jogger, a biker, a swimmer, and you got high intensity exercise, 75 to 90 minutes. Now, let's get to where you're in your 50s or 60s, you're not well conditioned, and I've said, you know, the biggest problem as you begin to get older is balance and your danger of falling and busting your hip and stuff. So now we got somebody who's been listening to us over the last few months. They're 60 years old, they haven't exercised a bit, you know. Then that idea of the walking pole is actually a really great idea, because what that does is as you go out, say you're walking on a dirt road out here, it increases your balance. Mm-hmm. It increases your stability so that you don't stumble and bust your hip or something, which somebody said, Dr. Whaley told me to go walk, and I went out here by the river, and I got out there where the boat was, and I stepped on a rock, and I fell and broke my hip. I'm going to sue the guy for bad advice. So if you got in that situation, the walking poles are really good. And it was a great question, because when you see these people with walking poles that are, you wonder, are they trying to train for cross-country skiing or what? That's not what they're doing. And you'll notice that most of the people with the walking poles are a little bit older. And they have had somebody, a personal trainer, or they've read somewhere about the hazard of the trip and fall and the balance problems that you have when you're not well conditioned or you're not young, and that balance pole really does help.
Well, I appreciate it. It did turn out to really be a great question, and then I looked up walking poles, and I'm thinking, you know, I thought the same thing, you know, walking through the mountains or whatever.
Yeah.
The poles, it's a good balance. And
you can't do it on a treadmill with poles.
Right?
No, treadmill you got treadmill you got the little rails.
We always like to have a minute or two if there's anything that we've left open this morning that you have been researching, or you want to have a final word, or let our audience know before we go.
Have you got that chart? You know, I keep coming back to immunizations, and right now there's a hepatitis A epidemic in Southern California, hepatitis A, isn't that the one you get from the bad salad in the Mexican restaurant? Yes. But this is the largest hepatitis epidemic in the United States in 35 years, and it's not from bad restaurant food or contaminated stuff out of the salads or anything. It's a person-to-person transmission, and it brought to mind the idea, that chart that Sam's got up there tells you the recommended immunizations that everybody gets, or that you get at age 50, and it shows the pneumonia one and the shingles one and stuff. But over at the left-hand end is hepatitis A, and all of our kids are supposed to be immunized against hepatitis A when they start to school. At age 12 or so, they're supposed to get the HPV virus. Well, study came out this week that 1 out of every 8 young adults from age 19 to age 60 have the HPV virus in their throat or neck, and that's the biggest cause of head and neck cancer. And head and neck cancer incidence has gone up by 300% in the last 20 years, and that's how long the HPV vaccine's been out there. So the two things that have come out all in the last 2 days are that hepatitis A epidemic. Your kids should have been immunized against that when they started the school, and if you haven't had it, go get it. And the HPV vaccine your kid's supposed to get when he's 12, and a lot of people aren't letting their kids get it, and they've got a 300% increase in head and neck cancer in young people caused by that HPV virus, and that would totally eliminate it. So I think those two things have come out in the last few days are worth talking about.
I do too, and thank you, Dr. Whaley, and thank you, Georgia Cancer Specialist, for this segment. We appreciate them. If you have any questions for Ask the Doc, info at fetchernews.com or chief at fetchernews.com. You can email those throughout the week, and just put at the top in the subject, put in Ask the Doc, and we'll get it over to Dr. Whaley, try to get it on the show. You can always contact us, 706-889-9700. And the All-Star Panel, we're at Blue Jeans Pizza in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Beautiful fall morning. The All-Star Panel is in the house. Thank you very much, Dr. Whaley. Again, thank you, Georgia Cancer Specialist. We'll be back. We might talk a little politics, but I don't know. The Cub fan may be here. Take us to break.
Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Fine sterling silver, luxurious baby alpaca and exotic woods. A beautiful selection of exquisitely crafted gifts for all of your special occasions. Visit our website, artesiansilvergifts.com, or follow us on Twitter at Artesian Silver Gifts. Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop in downtown Blue Ridge. Papa's Pizza to Go in downtown Blue Ridge is the best in the area all-you-can-eat buffet. Call ahead or order online now at papaspizzatogo.com. Use our convenient pickup window for the best in pizza, subs, wings, breadsticks, salads, and more. And be sure to check out our lively game room. We serve lunch and dinner, catering available, take out or dine in. Papa's Pizza to Go in Blue Ridge, proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels. The Tupelo Tea Mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
The 46th Annual Georgia Apple Festival Arts and Crafts Show, one of the South's premier festivals, is held in beautiful Ellijay, Georgia. Enjoy watching demonstrating artists and musicians, or try some tasty cooking from one of our delicious food vendors. With a parade, car show, and handmade arts and crafts from more than 300 vendors, there's plenty of fall fun for everyone. For more information, Visit GeorgiaAppleFestival.org.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hey Rebel fans, come visit the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill of Blue Ridge, Fannin County High School's Meet, Eat, and Treat headquarters. Highway 5 in Blue Ridge. Proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels.
Hey folks, I'm your host BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, Blue Jeans Pizza, and over here we have cousin Brucey. He has his folder. Yes,
orange folder.
And he actually was making notes, highlighting and stuff. He's going to hold that.
You get a book.
I have a book. I don't bring a folder.
When do you see
My
this
notes.
book? Yeah,
okay.
We got to talk
He
about
does
this.
have a computer.
That's true.
With notes.
That's true.
Okay, so Bruce is here. Rick's here.
You got the cigar stash back here.
I got it going, don't I?
Looks like a cigar store back here.
It does. I'm up to about 9 this morning.
We'll get a
It's
cigar
pretty-
Indian, cigar store Indian.
We got
over
anybody
here.
else coming in? Because this is going pretty
Could
good.
be. You never know. Never know who may walk through the door.
Okay. Where was I at? Okay, this is the All-Star panel.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
We got to get something squared away first, okay?
We're the Blue Boys.
What do we got to do?
We're going to carry over from the earlier conversation. You guys were talking about Vince Flynn.
Yes.
You said, I got all the books. No, you don't have all the books.
They were talking about Itchy Feet.
Because I got
actually.
one of your books.
Yeah, oh, well,
I got one of your books, and there's another issue. This book is from 1971, Public Library in Baltimore, Maryland. I think the Lieutenant Bookman's going to be coming over here to talk. What's the deal on this library book?
Well, first of all, I remember when I gave you that book. It's about time you return it. You're worse than the last guy that took it out of the library and didn't return it. What the? Really? That's what you do? That's what you do?
Why didn't somebody tell me it was book day? You know,
I mean, that's what you do.
It reminds me of Seinfeld.
You return
the Seinfeld episode.
You return the book that I said, look, I got this
It's
at
not the Tropic of Capricorn either, by the
No,
way.
exactly. Bookman was his name.
Yeah, Bookman.
Okay.
Lieutenant Bookman.
I got this at it is the Hartford. If I need to return it, we're public now. He said, throw me out there. Hartford Public Library in Bel Air, Maryland.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got it at a flea market. So if you don't like it, why you do that? Okay, you've got it.
Wait,
You
that's
got it.
overdue from Maryland? How many years?
71.
It's like
1971.
yeah, I owe like
That's a build-up.
I owe like 6,000 or 7,000.
The satellite's rotating on us right now. Oh, boy.
Oh, you've had it. You have. This calls for a full week.
Full investigation.
Yeah, a full week. Every day you watch the show, there'll be a little something. Okay.
Well,
So, is it
It was going
okay?
to be requiem for a Cub fan. Otherwise, if it wasn't.
No, Dr. Whaley, he didn't even let the buzzer go off. He said Vince Flynn. I didn't even get to say it.
I know, I
I tell you what, folks, this guy right here died of cancer. I've got every book. I had every book but one, and I loaned it to the Cub fan. The Cub fan brings it back, throws me under the bus in front of everybody, the World Wide Web. But anyhow, Vince Flynn will put that up there. Is okay? I mean, it's a little late now. You are the Cub fan.
I'm still a Cub
I
fan.
know you like the Cubs too. Relax, but you're not the Cub fan. I can't help it, because you've come on here and talked about soccer.
And the women's team did win a friendly last
Oh,
night.
the women's. See, I told you I would get him. Didn't I tell you? Let's go back to the Cub fan. I'm
You
sorry.
come prepared.
I'm sorry.
I turned it off with when they hit the granny. I just said,
I'm sorry.
this is done. One and done.
Well, still, man, we got to get the LA's not bad. So let's get the after tonight's
ain't
game.
home, right?
Yeah, but it ain't. No, let's see. We'll get that in a minute.
Okay.
You threw a curve at me. So you get after tonight's Yankee game.
Bring him the heater, Ricky.
All right. After tonight's Yankee game, let's schedule the airfare. Now, as soon as you go home, make the cardboard signs to put around our neck. We need tickets. Okay. We need tickets. Let's head to LA. Right.
Here's the guy that calls me. Right? He says,
Who's the guy that calls him?
right
He
here.
point to me.
Yeah, stuck in the middle with you. That's who.
What'd I call you?
You were talking on the phone, and I said, if the Cubs and the Yankees are in the World Series, we're going.
Road trip.
He said,
Yeah.
where are you going to get tickets? I said, well, I've got a connection.
I know
Maybe.
a guy. You got
I know a guy.
All right.
And that happens to be a relative. Anyway, close relative. So he calls me, he calls me when the Cubs are out, and he says, now, do you think I could get that same, and then same ticket hookup, and then I'll take you?
Yes, I'll take you. If you get me, the guy, call him and tell him I want the tickets, and I'll take you, this time. Well, tell him the truth, though, because last year, who went to the World Series?
I did.
There you go. We'll leave it there, and I didn't. Bruce, how are you?
I'm fine.
All right, let's get serious for a minute. Baseball is
wipe
serious.
that smile off your face.
Yeah, baseball is serious. I love it, but let's get serious. We come back here every single week, and it's like the same. It's like, what do they call it? Deja vu. It's
All
like
over again.
All over again.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that's Yogi Berra.
You
Remember?
think? Yeah.
You went there on me. Don't get baseball. I said, let's get off baseball. Don't go Yogi on me, all right? So anyhow, so every week we come back, it's like the same exact subject in a different way. The media's misrepresentation, that's the nicest way I can put it, of the facts to the American people concerning our president and what's taking place.
No, intentional subversion of facts.
Write that down. Somebody.
That's our catchphrase.
Yeah, intentional subversion of, and I got to practice that all weekend.
That's ISF.
Yeah, write that down.
ISF.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
It's
Go
game
with-
plan. I mean, this is what they were doing before the election, and they're going to do it for the rest of this term and the next one. Anything he does is just going to be twisted. They're going to pick something, get emotional about it, and off to the races.
Let's pull the joking out of it a little bit, because it has bothered me. I couldn't even do my opening monologue without it just really, and I know Dr. Whaley served in Vietnam, and he told the story today about the bodies coming back.
Excuse me.
You sent me the message, we'll say that, and the funniest thing I'll say is, yes, this woman in North Florida, don't forget, Frederica Wilson, representative, also the one that created the hype we'll call it hype over Trayvon Martin down there and created the media frenzy there. Looks like a rodeo clown. I mean, God, look at this woman. How did you watch John Kelly's
I did.
18 minutes? Give me your take on that 18 minutes.
I mean, he brought it from a different perspective. He brought it from the perspective of a father who lost his son in the same way, and he recants that he's been in that position on both sides, and I think he relayed a very personal touch, and he just said, "Is nothing sacred anymore?" That was my takeaway. There's nothing sacred anymore. That we've got to politicize everything?
Religion, no, he went through a list. He said, and I thought maybe this was, you couldn't go this low, right? Remember that?
Yeah, the choice of words were, when he said, I was stunned. I mean, when you're stunned.
You're at a loss for words.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't hardly believe it.
Right.
Well, there's so many things that spin around in this subject, but the president never gets that, let's say this. Yesterday at the press, they're at the big table. Was it yesterday or the day before? They're at the big I call it the big table. Everybody's in the room, cabinet members, media, and that's the only thing they can ask. While they're having, I like that mic that sticks way out there with the fuzzy end that's over the table.
Yeah.
And this reporter, you think of the opportunity you have as a reporter. Mm-hmm. So let me think, like when I get in there one day and I get the question, I will. So you think of the opportunity the reporter has. Mr. President, unemployment claims are the lowest in 44 years. What do you attribute that to with only being, I would even say this, with only being 9 months in office? I mean, what do you attribute that to? Can you give us, right? They had a chance to do that. Mr. President, the budget is on the floor of the Senate. Mm-hmm. Are you hopeful of it passing and will you be able to sign it? I mean, I could have said, Mr. President, on 10 different things.
That's good news for Trump, though, and they don't want to give him any credit for anything good.
But the reporter, Mr. President, I mean, did you say this to a mom that, hey, he knew what he signed up for? That was your question?
The problem is, though, he brings that...
Dripping with intonation.
He brings that question back to his producer or his editor or whomever that he reports to or she reports to, and the first thing that they'll say to him is, "What in the world are you doing? Why didn't you ask him about the Gold Star family that that attacked you during the convention?"
Yeah.
All they do is just keep going for what is selling then. That's not selling on the TV right now.
Well,
they're selling it. They're selling it.
I'm talking about the other stuff is not selling.
No.
Okay,
What I'm saying is okay. So here's the thing. The lady says, did you really say you know what you signed up for? Or first of all right, I'm not. How do I put this? I'm not the smartest guy on the panel. I'm not that smart. I don't have, I
would agree with that.
You would agree. I figured you would. That's why I kept giving you a chance, right? God almighty, I took you to. I'm not the smartest guy. That's just your cue. Say, I know. What the hell? Anyhow.
We'll go with that.
There will be more dogs in the parade tomorrow with more pedigree than me. Okay?
Oh, here we go.
All right? I mean, seriously.
We got jokes today, guys.
Right.
I'm just a hound. How far can I go? Sorry.
Come on, Huckleberry.
This panel's going to the dogs.
Bringing it back. But Trump says, I know enough that when this lady that's, got all these degrees and she made it to the White House, because if you've made it to the White House, right, and you've made it through the levels of, doing dog parades all the way up to, you're in the White House now, right?
Points at me.
Hey. Anyhow, judging dog contact, costume contact. I'm going to get this back. But you've gotten to that point. And that's the question you ask. And you say, did you really say you knew what you signed up for? Now, I myself, and we all know that when a young man goes in and sits down, there's a recruiting officer that looks at that young man one-on-one if he's 18 years old. It says, young man, do you realize what you've signed up for today? Right?
Because you're signing up.
Right,
You're voluntarily
exactly.
signing up.
Right. It's a volunteer. Right. You volunteer. This is not the draft. You didn't come in with your draft card. You're 100% right. Thank you. You didn't come in. And they say, you know what you signed up. You know what you're signing up for today, young man, right? Or young lady or whatever. You know what I mean. All right.
Yeah.
But you with me?
Yeah, exactly.
And Kelly said yesterday that when you usually get a call from somebody else in the military from grievance, and they say
grievance officer.
Well, the grievance, but another person in the military, they'll say, you know what you signed up for. He knows what he signed up for. He was serving with his friends. He was serving with the men and women around, right? Mm-hmm. But exactly. No, the media took the. Do you really say you know it? How insensitive. Even I know what that meant, right?
Yeah.
And then Trump says he had proof. Oh, they spun. The heads just spun. Oh, my God, what proof? And then Sanders comes out. Sarah Sanders comes out and says, John Kelly's on the other line. You really want to call for, he was on the other line during these calls.
Yep.
I don't know. Take it away. You're the smartest guy.
Again,
Obviously, you're the smartest guy on the panel.
No, I didn't say that.
You did. You said, yeah. Or well, I don't know.
Well, as the representative from Florida admitted, she only heard part of the conversation. So, you're taking things out of context, cherry picking, and again, intentional subversion of facts.
Did we write that down?
Sipping the gin and juice.
I can write that down.
Can you write that down? Okay. So,
back to the gin and juice.
Yeah, exactly. Kelly, what did we call it? I thought the explanation, and I think so, folks, the explanation of these young men and women, what happens when they are killed in service, John Kelly lays it out methodically.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
heartfelt and poignant.
Thank you. Okay. I want to recommend that 18 minutes because, he goes through packing their body in ice, where they go, where they're dressed with their medals, when they come. And he said a grievance officer, I think that was called, a grievance officer is assigned at all times and does not leave. And I just think it's 18 minutes. Now, the media this morning, obviously, I had to watch Morning Joe and Mika.
Good night.
I had to. And they've already spun it around to Kelly asked, basically you can read that Kelly asked the president not to make that call. When Kelly was sending subliminal messages. I swear to God, this is what the two whack jobs were saying this morning at 6 o'clock.
Did you see the third whack job, Lawrence?
We got a third one? Oh, Lawrence O'Donnell or whatever his name was? Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
What'd he say?
I
can't watch all of them.
I know.
I have to maintain some sanity.
I knew you were going to go there, so I went to the website this morning and I see this whack job, way too much makeup, and he's talking about that he's going after Kelly for what he said about the rodeo clown. And he's saying that, he called her an empty barrel. And then all I did was have a flash about those barrels they've got out there in the middle of the ring with the Brahma bulls, and she's circled in the barrel, and I didn't know where to go with that.
Bruce, you bring the full. Stay over there just a minute. Okay, stay right there just a second. Okay, yes. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you in a moment, sir.
Don't they climb in the empty barrel when the bulls come out?
Yes, they do.
I thought so.
Yeah. Then they get whacked.
That's the visual.
Okay, I think we should go to break and come back right after these messages. This is the All-Star panel.
Right.
Yes. And if you have anything for us.
All rodeo, all the time.
All rodeo, all the time. 706-889-9700. I'm your host, I think, BKP, Blue Jeans Pizza in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Don't forget, we're going to be talking high school football in a minute and also our pet of the week. Take us to break, Sam.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Casey McGraw, the General Manager of Schottenkirk Ford. We're going to start doing something here at Schottenkirk that we're really excited about. You may have already noticed our Facebook page, the new edition of the 360-degree videos. This allows the user to control the video in virtual reality and see it from any angle you choose, simply by moving your device or scrolling with your finger or your mouse. At Schottenkirk, we've decided to take this groundbreaking technology and apply it to the car shopping experience. Now, if you're interested in a new truck, a family car, or a brand new convertible Mustang, you can simply log on to our Facebook page or our YouTube page and see it for yourself in full HD 360-degree detail. Or contact one of our sales associates who will send you the link directly. If you like what you see and want to take it for a test drive, simply stop on by and take it for a spin. At Schottenkirk Ford, we're committed to not only keep up with new market technology, but we strive to be innovators, while always keeping your comfort and convenience as our #1 priority. So follow us on Facebook, check out our new 360 VR videos, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Be sure to check out New Blue Home and Gift, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Find us on Twitter at New Blue Home. Everything beautiful for your home or a special gift can be found at New Blue Home and Gift. Call us today at 706-455-3873 or visit us at 531 East Main Street, Suite 103 in downtown Blue Ridge. Broken Bull, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing, is locally owned and operated. Our Simply Noel selection is the largest around. We have a great selection of unique clothing and several lines to choose from for men and women. We carry a beautiful variety of handmade jewelry from Blessed Be and others. All kinds of gifts, starting to carry shoes this fall as well. Come visit us on your next trip to Blue Ridge. We can't wait to meet you at Broken Bull, located in downtown Blue Ridge.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We are at Blue Jeans Pizza in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Don't forget, we're going to be here. I think we're going to be here all day hanging out. We could stay for the game tonight. Oh, you don't want to stay? I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
That's okay.
That's all right. I didn't mean to bother you.
No,
Cub fan in the house. I got excited. We could stay for the game tonight.
Now I'm a Yankee fan.
Well, you're talking about a local football game.
Well, we're going to be doing that in a minute. And where was it? Where was that? Oh, Blue Jeans Pizza. Today at 11. So we're going to go off the air at 10 o'clock. We're going to all-star panels here. We got Rick, got Bruce. Jason's going to come up. We're going to talk high school football. Then we're going to have the Humane Society, Blue Ridge Pet of the Week. And then after that, we're going to take a 1-hour break. But come back at 11, fyntv.com at 11. We are going to have a chair commission panel in North Georgia. We're going to have Lamar Paris from Union County. We're going to have Charlie Paris from Gilmer County, Stan Helton from Fannin County, and Robert Jones from Pickens County. We're going to talk about your local roads, bridges, things that are going on your property, taxes, whatever may concern you. Even animal control. That's a big issue in rural counties. So we're going to have all of those questions, and we're going to have those 4 gentlemen with us at 11 o'clock. Now, yes, sir.
Are those 2 parishes related?
Paris.
Oh.
Are they related?
Yes.
I'll ask that today.
Good.
I mean, I send people one question. All right, now that you're back and you've realized that Vince Flynn, and I owe about $7,000 worth of book fines on that. Thank you very much. There's somebody Googling that right now.
Maryland, my Maryland.
Yeah, Gerald, they're
Should
Googling.
we tell them what library?
They're draining your bank account right now. What do you mean?
Google. Somebody's Googling that right now. Okay, let's go back to, I guess I would ask why. Now, we don't have time, but would you know, because you search out the internet, that the Senate passed a budget last night?
Yes, sir. 5149.
Yep. Rand Paul abstained, or voted against.
Okay, now, did you know they were going to pass a budget last night?
I knew there was talk. I didn't know it was
talk.
a done deal.
Right, there was talk, right?
Yep.
Did you know?
Same as Bruce, they talked about it.
All right, so
Said that they were bringing it to the floor. There would be a vote.
But there was talk.
There was talk.
Right. Do you not think that should have been some of the front page, or every time we get the other front page stuff, the reason is there's something lying under there they don't want us to study, think about, or keep up with?
Do you know that it's not even on the Fox website?
No.
Fox News does not even have it. Their lead story is about the 9th Circuit or the 11th Circuit, whatever it is out there on the left coast.
9th Circuit.
Repealing the prostitution, 145-year-old prostitution law.
Folks, last night the Senate went to the floor, 51-49. Rand Paul abstained from voting, which I'm going to tell you need to pay attention to that. And a budget was passed.
For something. The number, the amount.
Oh.
Well, I'm almost to the point anymore. The amounts are relative. They just don't care what the dollar is. They're going to, I don't want to get in. And here's the thing is, I cannot.
But the passage was necessary for them to piggyback tax reform.
Right. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. They had to pass the budget to move forward with tax reform. Right. That is true. Yep. That is true. But don't you think that should have been the forefront of the conversation all week instead of the rodeo clown or anything else? Should that have not made...
That's a major legislative, win for Trump. They're not
I
bring
you guys in here to help me out or something.
Yes, you're right. You're right. But they're not going to give him any credit.
Yeah, you're living in a crazy world because it's not going to happen. You know that. The deep state will not allow that to happen. You got 2 ex-presidents out there yesterday.
I was going there. There you go.
The fact that Obama would come out and get back on the campaign trail and say divisive politics is the law of the land right now.
Yeah, nastiness.
Really? What about the last 8 years that he was in office? That was more divisive than I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Black and white, whether you like it over there on the other side of the camera, I'm sorry, black and white has to be kept in the front for all of us to see.
Mm-hmm. Push it out there.
It has to be. I said it Tuesday on the show. I said, folks, you need to understand, black and white needs to be up front at all times. That's what they're doing to divide us. They're intentionally trying to divide us. I tell you this. I would say it like this: if everybody turned the TV off for a week, nobody touched the TV, internet, nothing for a week, you would probably get shocked at the people that are getting along. That don't have anybody telling them how they think, how they feel, or how they should like their fellow man.
Hey, talk to the people in Puerto Rico, because that's happening.
They have to get along.
Well, yeah, they don't have anything for weeks and weeks now, so over a month.
Where are they playing? Dominoes?
They're playing, clean water. Find me some clean water. But
We got to do this after. There's nothing to do. Who's got the dominoes?
The people in California.
Was
Napa,
that bad?
You
want to touch that?
They're just helping each other and surviving.
Who?
Napa, Sonoma, the California fires, same thing. Everything's burned down. They don't have their cell phones. They can't charge anything.
I almost had a joke that was just, I couldn't.
Don't touch
Yeah,
it.
you don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there.
But, yeah.
Bring it back.
Coming out of shoot 5. Let's go back to the rodeo.
Okay, let's go back to the rodeo.
Giddy up.
Unemployment claims. All right, let's go back to Bush and Obama.
Oh, do we have to?
Sorry, do we have to?
I mean, they both took slaps at him. They're talking about scorched earth politics. Those are the exact words they used. Scorched earth politics. Give me a break. The only way you can win is to divide? Really, Barack? Come on, Barry. He got better game than that.
Well, let me say this.
I don't know if he does.
Let me say this. I like to remember. I like to play some of the old hits. Okay? I like to play some of the old hits. Now, both of you settle down for a minute. I'm going to get serious for like a whole minute and a half, so I don't want no aggravation
Okay.
left
Set
or
the
right.
timer on that.
Should we get out of the picture?
No, you can stay in the picture, but I like to play the old hits. Yesterday, all I keep hearing on the news is former President George Bush came out and he had these words and he never mentioned President Trump's name, but you could tell, and President Obama came out. So let's go down memory road. George H. Bush left, and he had to give King Henry. You remember that 12 minutes and 43 seconds he came down the hall and told you the sky was falling in this country, and that if we didn't give King Henry Paulson $800 billion, the world would end. You remember, and that happened to be George W. Bush. You remember that?
Yep.
That happened to be that guy. Okay? So we won't go into too deep. So when you started putting up those billboards, do you miss me now? No, I don't miss George. I didn't miss him yesterday. I didn't care what he said yesterday. I never will again. Okay, so let's fast forward let's go down memory road with Barack Hussein Obama. I told you, let me be serious for a second, okay? Barack Hussein Obama. This is a guy who spent 8 years, could not get the GDP past 3%. Could not. First president, I think in 8 years in history of this country that did not have 3% growth GDP.
Barely got the 2.
I asked both of you to let me finish. Barely got the 2. We'll go with that. That was a good input.
Yeah, that was good.
All right.
We're here to support you.
All right, so here are these two guys down memory road that couldn't get the job done. And I'm sorry, there's a lot of failure that I see. That's my opinion. And you got a president, his first year in office, lowest unemployment claims, 222,000 less claims, lowest in 44 years, a budget passed to get tax reform. We got to look at this budget. And this guy, and all I can hear about is the civility with Obama and George Bush. I think I'll trade the tweeter president for I think I'll trade up.
The unemployment.
I mean, I don't know what I just said, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, no one ever fails. No one mentions the fact that Obama was also responsible for doubling the debt.
Oh, I forgot to throw that in.
Yeah.
Right? That's a little side
And
note,
the spin, from the media is that a lot of the unemployment stuff is just overshooting from Obama's efforts.
Oh, I forgot to throw that
There
in.
you go.
There you go.
We're here for support.
Okay, lowest unemployment claims, 222,000 in 44 years. That missed the news, right?
Yeah, other than that was, because of things Obama did in his administration. That's the spin.
Because of things Obama did. Let's take a whole different direction.
Okay.
Let's just put the brakes on, clean slate, and let's move another direction. Do you believe what the government's telling us about Vegas? Are where are you at on this whole Vegas?
I'm confused. I'll have to admit,
All right.
I sort of backed away from listening to anything because, they're saying that this guy showed up on the Ellen show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was ordered to by Mandalay Bay, because
Right.
they said they don't want him to get in front of real journalists who would really ask probing questions, so they throw him on Ellen.
And what say you? What Vegas? I mean, can you give me anything you got on that?
I didn't hear the Mandalay Bay take. What went through my mind is that this was a chance for this security guard and the building superintendent. This was their lottery. He was going to shop his story to the best deal. And it ended up on that hard-hitting Ellen DeGeneres show. Like Bruce said, she never asked one relevant question.
Did she get up and dance with him?
Why doesn't somebody ask? I'm sorry?
Did she get up and dance with him?
Probably. I didn't watch. I don't
I
know.
don't-
Why doesn't someone ask the guy, did he really get shot? They can't find any record of him. It's the law. When you go into a clinic, if you've been shot, you've got to report that to the police. You'd think there'd be
Right.
some kind of a paper trail.
Right.
Why has that question not been asked? Why are the timelines so goofy? You can go to the internet right now and you can find people that have got every conspiracy theory under the sun, including the fact that I just lost my train, including there's more than one gunman. And you've got people that are doing sound studies as to where the gunshots were coming from. And you watch these things and they're pretty darn credible.
There is too much out there concerning what the massacre that took place in Vegas that is left to question that people should not just accept. It's just the bottom line. I mean, cover-up questions emerge over Vegas security guards' Ellen appearance following his sudden reappearance on the Ellen show after vanishing for 6 days. Numerous questions remain unanswered about Mandalay Bay shooting hero Jesus Campos timeline, and perhaps more concerning still is the Daily Mail report that he was pressured into giving his own interview to Ellen DeGeneres because the giant company that owns the Las Vegas casino feared he would spill the beans about the shooting timeline if he was grilled by real journalists.
There you go. I didn't see that. Bruce had that.
Yeah, right there. And I'm thinking, folks, you gotta, look, I don't want to keep this going based on, what families are going through. Yeah. Okay? But on the other hand, they solved this thing way too quick for me.
Where are the autopsy reports?
Right, they solved this thing.
Well, but a lot of the information isn't out there. They haven't, said all the bodies are here, the angle of bullet entries is here. That's
Well, it's an open investigation, and we know there's a lot that we could talk about here that's speculation that we don't know.
Right.
We don't know. So that's the bottom line. But the reality is these press conferences, they came out, the FBI quickly came out within seconds and minutes and hours and eliminated things. And that, what I mean?
We're not, this is not terror related.
Right. They started eliminating things within moments after the shooting.
Well, that's, I think, the media and the public's expectation these days. You have to have very quick answers to things. And with 59 people killed and how many injured, this is going to take months.
Okay, before we go to break and we talk high school football for tonight, Jason Banks is here in the house. We're going to talk high school football. What's your final?
I'm going to go to the orange folder. We talked about division and everything in the country before. The Cornell, my parents went to Cornell. Both my parents went to Cornell. The Black Student Union.
Your dad head football coach there?
He was not head football coach, no. He was an assistant coach. But anyway, the Black Student Union there basically has come out and filed a complaint with the university saying that due to the fact that the Black Student Union is dominated by African Americans from Africa, the U.S. blacks are making a complaint that they are disproportionately underrepresented. And they said black students whose families were affected directly by the African Holocaust in America are being outweighed by African students who are black, who basically make up the bigger part of the union. So they're saying, American African Americans are upset by this. I mean, it's ridiculous. Blacks calling other blacks, too engaged in the educational process. It's absurd.
Folks, that's the kind of stuff in the folder. I'm telling you, that's good stuff. That's a good folder. You know what I always think? Do Jamaicans get offended when you call them an African American?
Oh boy, I don't know. Ask Juan
I
Williams.
just wondered. Sorry, I don't know why that came up. I just wondered, Sam. Quit shaking your head at me. I don't know.
Is it Rihanna from Barbados or
I don't
Jamaica?
know. Just shake it. Just think it.
I'm sure she'd have an opinion.
Yeah.
Juan is what, Dominican?
I don't know. Don't go there.
Just ask.
All right. You have a final thought?
Of course I do.
Go for it.
I got Paws in the Park this weekend. 8:30, 5K run. Paws Parade. You got to see these pets all dressed up in their Halloween outfits. 10 o'clock. Then we got Blessing of the Pets.
Yes.
The Reverend Michael Brunson will be there at 10:45 to bless the pets. Costume contest, 11:15. Raffle drawings. I've got the whole layout here. We've got all of the animal hospitals will be represented. We've got great food. We've got other rescue operations.
A lot of vendors will be there.
Pet grooming. I mean, it's huge.
Yes, the vendors will be there. Different. If
10 to 2.
Is there a puppy petting zoo or something?
Yeah, we've got all of the pets will be
right,
there.
all of the doggies from the Humane
Society
Society will be there. But from your pets, from I don't know how many. There'll be veterinary hospitals there.
All 5 of them.
All of them will be there. Bring your dog. From talking to professionals, grooming,
Just dogs.
Homemade dogs.
Just dogs.
No.
Cats.
Yeah, we'll have kittens there, kittens and cats as well.
Clarification. I
don't believe in clarification.
Come and see the llamas.
Some subjects, I'm going on record. Ready? Some subjects, clarification is not necessary, Bruce. You understand? You understand.
Yeah, we've even got alpacas.
What do they call the
there.
feet on lizards?
You got to have alpacas there.
Folks, yeah, we do.
The alpacas will be in the house.
See, it's getting wilder and wilder.
I think this circus needs to end. I think it does. I'm your host, VKP. We are at Blue Jeans Pizza. We have a great time every Friday morning here. Please join us on the internet, fyntv.com. Join our YouTube channel. That's Fetch Your News, FYNTV, Fetch Your News. Find us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Fetch Your News, at FYNTV. Am I leaving anything out, Rose? No, Rose said no. Oh, what was that?
At Team FYN Sports.
I mean, I did. Oh, at Team. Oh, that was the football. Okay.
Throwing it back to you.
Okay.
2 hands.
At Team FYN Sports.
Those
for
weren't
Friday
paper
night.
towels, were they, Rose?
No. So, right after these messages, we're going to have Jason Banks come in. We're going to talk about high school football. Stick around. We always have a lot of fun. We're going to have about 10 minutes of that. Talk about where all the teams are tonight, where your Fan and Rebels will be playing. Pickens Dragons, Union Panthers, Gilmer Bobcats, you name it. We're going to talk about it. How about that game tonight with Pickens and Ridgeland? Now, I know we're over here in Gilmer County, but Ridgeland's quite a school to keep up with right now. Coach Tanks, that's a tough school.
Where are you going to be tonight?
I haven't decided.
So many
I'm
choices.
undecided. I'm an undecided.
So many
I don't think I've ever...
You got optionality.
No.
Wow.
I think we're making history. I don't think there's any question that I've ever been asked that I said I was undecided. There you go. I'll figure it out. We'll let you know. We'll be back after these messages. Thank you, Rick and Bruce.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Casey McGraw, the General Manager of Schottenkirk Ford. We're going to start doing something here at Schottenkirk that we're really excited about. You may have already noticed our Facebook page, the new edition of the 360-degree videos. This allows the user to control the video in virtual reality and see it from any angle you choose, simply by moving your device or scrolling with your finger or your mouse. At Schottenkirk, we've decided to take this groundbreaking technology and apply it to the car shopping experience. Now, if you're interested in a new truck, a family car, or a brand new convertible Mustang, you can simply log on to our Facebook page or our YouTube page and see it for yourself in full HD 360-degree detail. Or contact one of our sales associates who will send you the link directly. If you like what you see and want to take it for a test drive, simply stop on by and take it for a spin. At Schottenkirk Ford, we're committed to not only keep up with new market technology, but we strive to be innovators, while always keeping your comfort and convenience as our #1 priority. So follow us on Facebook, check out our new 360 VR videos, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Be sure to check out New Blue Home and Gift, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Find us on Twitter at New Blue Home. Everything beautiful for your home or a special gift can be found at New Blue Home and Gift. Call us today at 706-455-3873 or visit us at 531 East Main Street, Suite 103 in downtown Blue Ridge. Broken Bull, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing, is locally owned and operated. Our Simply Noel selection is the largest around. We have a great selection of unique clothing and several lines to choose from for men and women. We carry a beautiful variety of handmade jewelry from Blessed Be and others. All kinds of gifts, starting to carry shoes this fall as well. Come visit us on your next trip to Blue Ridge. We can't wait to meet you at Broken Bull, located in downtown Blue Ridge.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Blue Jeans Pizza. Can't beat being here, can you, Jason?
No, you need some pizza.
You ready? Yeah. Pepperoni, extra cheese. And hey folks, this is a great place, Blue Jeans Pizza. This is a great place to come at night. They got TVs everywhere, the big screen, watch the game. to me right now, the game is the Yankees tonight. Sorry, folks. Yankees is the game to me. But all weekend long, college football on these screens. Come on down to Blue Jeans Pizza. Jason Banks, the director of Team FYN Sports, is joining me right now. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
It's always good on Friday in the fall. That means one thing. It's Fetch Football Friday, and we're going to be on the sideline somewhere.
That's right.
Let's start with Fannin County. Where are they headed tonight?
Homecoming.
Homecoming.
Senior night, yeah. Probably some emotional parents out there, and they're hosting Lumpkin. And, Lumpkin 0-7, 0-3 in the region. One of the 3 teams in AAA Region 7 that are still looking for a win. And so some questions for sure will be answered as far as the bottom end of the region picture. We start looking at who's going to be fitting into brackets for the playoffs.
Fannin Rebels, this is actually, when you say fitting into the brackets for the playoffs, Fannin Rebels, this is playoffs. Every game now is playoffs for them. Is that not correct?
Yeah, we heard Pavo say that on our Rebel wrap-up on Wednesday night. And of course, those guys, they're not looking any further than this Friday's game.
Yeah, he let me know that 3 times.
Straight up. He mentioned it. Their guys can count, and they know what's got to happen for them to get past just regular season play or region play. And
this is the game for Fannin Rebels that they can win. This is one they can put in the books. The W. Lumpkin is 0-7.
That's right.
0-3 in the region. So,
yeah.
But that also brings up they are in the hunt. They're hungry, and it's playoff night for them.
Yeah, and they played a pretty good game a few weeks ago against Chastity. 40-32 loss, but still, I mean, we saw Fannin play Chastity. They didn't quite have as much success as Lumpkin did. So if we were just basing tonight's pick or who we think is going to win off of that game, the opponent alone, it would be leaning actually in Lumpkin's favor a little bit. But I think Fannin is prepared. I think the coaches have got them kind of tuned in to, and it's senior night. Come on.
Okay, let's move north. We'll stay on 515 here for a little bit. Let's move north to Union Panthers. Where are they going tonight?
Man. You know what? I actually forgot. Sad enough, because I was still thinking about that North Hall game. I think Union is actually off this week. And they are.
Union's off this week.
They got a break. Yeah.
All right, so Union's off this week. Gilmer is headed over to, where are they headed?
Gilmer is actually at home tonight, I believe.
They're away tonight, Gilmer is? And I think they're...
Yeah, Northwest Whitfield. That should actually be a pretty tough game for them.
Northwest Whitfield. Gilmer's headed over to Northwest Whitfield. Gilmer had, and I don't know, Jason, tell me, but I have never really discussed moral victories in football except for the W on the board, and coaches usually don't like to say that, but we know the situation in Gilmer, and they had some pretty good moral victories last Friday night.
They had to highlight that. I mean, they deserve it.
Right.
Despite losing, it was their best loss, right? And the small victories that they had and the things that they were able to finally pull together and do well, you'd like to see them build on that, of course, and they will, obviously, throughout the rest of this season, and then obviously in the off season they've got some work to do. But Northwest Whitfield, much different team than Southeast Whitfield, so we'll hope that they come out and they continue to show some of the fire that they had this last Friday and give them a good game.
Well, in that Quad A region, Region 6, Northwest Whitfield, their D1 quarterback went down, but they let Pickens know they had another quarterback.
I think the backup quarterback may have actually had a chip on his shoulder in that game. I'm not sure, but coming in as the backup and people probably questioning how good is this kid going to play, I think everybody found out pretty fast that he can play football.
Yes, yeah.
He was ready.
So I think that was big. Pickens has a loss there. Before I switch over and stay into that Quad A Region 6, let's go back to Fannin. GHSA's really got to look at that region next year.
Got to.
I mean, you got Greater Atlanta Christian, and you got Dawson. There's 2 teams. That region has to change. Do you agree that of all
absolutely.
regions in the state, that one has to?
There's such a huge difference. Even just going to the game, you step out onto the track or get ready to walk onto the sidelines, and you can see these guys warming up. And when you, like the Dawson game that I was at last week, you walk out there and you see that they've got 30% more players on the field, something's not right.
Right.
And whether it's the like Coach Pavo told us, it's based on the number of students that they have. Okay, well that may be true. I think there's probably a pretty high percentage of student athletes at Fannin County that want to play football. So I don't think that they've got fewer percentage-wise people coming out to suit up. I think it's more of a matter of maybe those numbers are a little bit too wide, right? Whatever that bottom number is and that top number is, they probably, especially if they're looking at expanding number of classifications or like they just recently did, there's just a big difference between seeing Fannin and Union, right, or seeing GAC and Dawson.
Right, exactly. Well,
Huge.
in Lumpkin, in fairness, and even North Hall and East Hall.
And East Hall.
I mean, they're up there, but still, I mean, they would fit right now. You're able to play them.
They would fit.
You can still play
both
them.
East Hall and North Hall, I think.
You can still play. But this region has to change because look at the reality. We were talking the other night. Now, when you get into rural counties like Fannin, not to be negative, but you only have X amount of skill players. We all know that football, we call them skill players. Okay,
Right.
You got X amount. You only return X amount every year, no matter how hard you try, because you're a rural county. And then if a kid comes off the field and a kid goes in, odds are in rural counties the same level athlete did not go in. You with me?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when you play these other teams, they send legs in and they're the same set. I mean, there's no level of change in play, right?
Yeah, and
that's what we talk about.
Say 2 or 3 of those guys could probably easily come to a Fannin, a Union, or a Lumpkin and be starters.
Exactly. Let's move back over to Quad A. This is the game that I would say I'm most interested in. Former head coach of the Gilmer Bobcats, which I know very well, Wesley Tankersley. I know Coach Tankersley very well. Great guy, great coach. Over there in Ridgeland, he has the team. They're going up. This is Quad A, Region 6. They're going up. The Dragons are traveling over there. They're 7-0.
All right. Ranked 5th in the state.
Ranked 5th in the state.
And I think that that's low.
You think so?
I think that they're as good, if not better, than Cartersville. They've only given up, they've had one game where they gave up more than one touchdown. Heritage,
2 touchdowns.
Not bad.
And outside of that,
you're lucky if you get a touchdown. It's probably in the 4th quarter while you're playing some of his JV guys.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You got you. If we looked it up, that 7 is probably 4th quarter touchdown, right?
4th quarter touchdown from a starter from one of these other Quad A schools playing against the JV squad.
And Heritage got 2 touchdowns. So they got 1 in the 3rd quarter and the 4th. I'm just joking.
And they're good.
And Heritage is very good.
Heritage, Northwest Whitfield right there, So.
And so tonight, the Dragons, I talked to Chris Parker last night, coach of Dragons. They know what they're up against. They know it's tough, and they know where they're going. But I will have to say Wesley Tankersley over in Ridgeland may have the team he's always wanted. This may be the team he's been waiting for his whole entire coaching career.
You got to say something about that defense, I mean, we just did. But I hope that if Pickens can get in the end zone, it could be a good game. But
what about anything to highlight? We got to go. It's almost time for our Pet of the Week. Anything you want to highlight that you brought this morning on any player or any team or anything we haven't covered that you want to highlight this week?
I mean, basically, I was really excited about talking about Pickens and Ridgeland, and of course, there's some good games that are going on in Region 7 that we didn't talk about, but that East Hall game this week, East Hall Dawson. I think that's going to be a really good game. It could have a major impact on where teams fall in the playoffs for AAA Region 7. And then, of course, North Hall going to GAC. I expect that will probably not be quite the game that East Hall Dawson could be. So, but individual players, just shout out to the Fannin high school seniors. I know they're going to lose some seniors this year. A lot of parents have already told me they're going to be real emotional. Don't take pictures of them crying, but it may happen. So,
You got a game pick? It don't matter where it's at. You got a game pick this week?
go with Ridgeland. You know, I lose every week, so I'm going to go with Ridgeland. And if I lose, then it's not necessarily bad for us.
Yeah, that doesn't have a big payoff. You know, if you're in Vegas, your Ridgeland pick, it pays off, but it's not a big one. How about I go East Hall over Dawson?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I've got East Hall over Dawson. He went with us. Yeah.
I had to.
You took your chance last week.
I'm wrong every week.
You took your chance last week.
I want to be wrong, you know. So.
Jason Banks, Team FYN Sports, and don't forget we'll be on the sideline tonight. Like our page, Team FYN Sports. Also follow us at Team FYN Sports. We tweet out all night long highlights on these games, and also we talk Friday about what we think could happen. But don't miss 8:30 every Monday morning. We talk Monday morning quarterback, what did happen. Jason, appreciate it. See you on the sideline. We'll be right back after these messages. It's time for our Pet of the Week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge.
Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Fine sterling silver, luxurious baby alpaca and exotic woods. A beautiful selection of exquisitely crafted gifts for all of your special occasions. Visit our website, artesiansilvergifts.com, or follow us on Twitter at Artesian Silver Gifts. Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop in downtown Blue Ridge. Papa's Pizza to Go in downtown Blue Ridge is the best in the area all-you-can-eat buffet. Call ahead or order online now at papaspizzatogo.com. Use our convenient pickup window for the best in pizza, subs, wings, breadsticks, salads, and more. And be sure to check out our lively game room. We serve lunch and dinner, catering available, take out or dine in. Papa's Pizza to Go in Blue Ridge, proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels. The Tupelo Tea Mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
The 46th Annual Georgia Apple Festival Arts and Crafts Show, one of the South's premier festivals, is held in beautiful Ellijay, Georgia. Enjoy watching demonstrating artists and musicians, or try some tasty cooking from one of our delicious food vendors. With a parade, car show, and handmade arts and crafts from more than 300 vendors, there's plenty of fall fun for everyone. For more information, visit georgiaapplepfestival.org.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hey Rebel fans, come visit the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill of Blue Ridge. Fannin County High School's Meet, Eat, and Treat headquarters. Highway 5 in Blue Ridge. Proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels.
Hey folks, it's that time of the week. It's time for our Pet of the Week, our star of the show from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Here with Rena. And you know, Rena, last week, I think it was just last week, I was not wearing a sweater and you were not wearing a jacket.
No, it
Things
got cold.
cooled down a little bit, didn't it?
It did get a little cool,
So,
yes it did.
Okay, now wait a minute. This is the star of the show. Come over here, Cherry. Who is this?
This is Cherry.
I already knew
Cherry.
that. Those are those little inside things I get to know before we give kisses and I give. Here.
She was
Cherry.
named Cherry Log because she was found, she had been hit by a car and she was found by a Good Samaritan who took her in to the vet.
Aww.
And she had a broke leg, so she's recovering, but everything's well. She's using her leg very good. She's running and retrieving. She's a boxer mix and approximately 6 months old. She's a little puppy and such a love.
Okay, you guys all come here, and you know I'm supposed to try to pay attention, and you make it really hard. There you go.
Good girl.
Oh, Cherry got hit by a car.
She got hit by a car.
And she's had surgery on her leg.
On her back right leg.
Okay,
but she
I would not be able to tell that if you didn't.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I would not know. I wouldn't know that if you wouldn't tell me because she looks great.
She does, and she's running and retrieving, and she's doing very well. And she is just such a little sweetheart. She's a boxer mix, brindle and
That's
black.
exactly what I'm looking at.
Yes, you can see that little under what do they call that? The undercut of the mouth. Whatever that is, don't eat it, baby. There you go. Thank you. Don't eat that. Don't eat that.
So we have a boxer mix, has a brindle kind of face. Turn around so people can see you.
There we go.
Turn around. Over here.
Over here.
Look over here.
There you go. Good
there you
girl.
go for the camera. There you go.
Yeah, show the people how pretty you are.
Keep chewing. See, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. All right. So, Humane Society of Blue Ridge, and we have Rena here is going to tell us about their intake program and how you can adopt one of these beautiful animals today, dog or cat. Rena, tell us about the intake program if somebody's watching for the first time.
Okay. When dogs come in to the Humane Society, they're placed into intake for 14 days, and that is pending that they don't have any diseases to pass over to our general population. And Cherry has moved over to General Pop, and she is just a wonderful, wonderful dog. After the 14 days, they move over to general population, and then if we have room, we'll take in another dog. We are currently, we're going to be full here probably by the end of the week. So Cherry is up to date on her shot. She has been fixed, so she's ready to go, and her leg does not hold her back whatsoever.
Okay.
She runs.
Folks, we have a surprise for you coming up. We have this beautiful dog, Cherry, that you can adopt. Relax, take a break. As you can see, her leg is doing fine.
Yes.
Okay, one more. So now, I'm picking up probably great with kids.
Oh, yes,
I mean,
yeah.
This is a lover, and it looks like Cherry's looking for a family. But if you have a pet, you need to do a meet and greet. The whole family needs to meet your new pet, your new family member. So what you do is you make an appointment for a meet and greet. You bring your dogs, your children, everybody, and check it out. And we try to do that so it's a one-time thing. We don't like to bring the dogs back, so it's a
Right,
one-time
right.
thing. Perfect fit for. Would you chill
And she
for a
gets
minute?
along well with our other dogs running side by side. We haven't put her into group play yet because of her leg. We want to make sure that she's healed completely. But running side by side with the dogs and the
I have
runs,
one more treat.
she's-
I have one more treat, and some lovin' could get it. Some lovin' if I get some lovin'. Now we have a surprise for you folks. Not only is Cherry available and all the other great cats out there at the Humane Society. See, that's stuck in my hand. See, can you get it? Can you get it? Not only are the beautiful dogs and cats out there, next week. It's time for Paws in the Park.
Paws in the Park, right? That's
So,
right. And
Paws in the Park. You're going to meet them all again because Sam doesn't know this yet, but we're doing Pet of the Week on the road.
are we?
Why not? We're going to have all the paws.
That's right, and they're all going to be there.
We are going to have all the paws in one park.
Yep.
And all you need is you and me and
That's
a
right.
couple doggies, and we
Got
can
a
do.
show.
There you go.
Yes.
Cherry, it is great. This is Humane Society of Blue Ridge that you can check out. They have a beautiful facility there. We never like to leave without giving a big shout out to all the workers out there, and especially those hardworking volunteers that help out. Get in touch with them today. Find your Facebook page.
Facebook, that's
And,
right. And call us at 706-632-4357. Follow us on Facebook, as Brian just said. We're here. Go to our website, which is humanesocietyofblueridge.org. And I'm leaving something out. And we're at 171 Mineral Springs Road in Blue Ridge, which is just off of Vasca. And come out and see all of our dogs. We're open Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 to 5, Saturdays, 10 to 2. We are closed Sundays and Tuesdays.
And don't forget, tomorrow, Paws in the Park. Paws in the Park tomorrow. Do you know what time?
10 to 2.
10 to 2.
There's a race
Big parade.
before,
Now,
big
the
parade,
one
that's right.
thing, so I close. Tomorrow, you bring your paws.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you bring your own paws and your furry paws, okay?
And I believe there's a Halloween costume.
So you,
judging.
Yes, costume judging. You dress your pooch up. Paws in the Park. You bring your furry little critter. It's for every paw out there.
Yep.
How's that?
That's
pretty
right.
good.
That's right. Yeah, we'll be in the parade
Yes.
with our dogs and
200-300 dogs.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's not a joke. You get to see every dog out there. It's a whole lot of fun.
It'll be a lot of fun.
And we have a nice parade, and then we have the blessing of the pets every year.
Yes.
And then we have a pet costume contest.
That's it.
And then we have pets doing tricks. You name it, we have it. Paws in the Park tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. is the parade. I think they even have a 5K run before that.
They do before that. Yes, there
Yeah.
is. And then there'll be other people have booths or tables
Yes.
set up. So
Vendors will be
right,
there,
yeah.
stuff like that. I'm your host, BKP. This is our favorite part of the week. It's our pet of the week. Cherry is waiting for her forever home right now. I don't have anything else, okay? So let me get off here so I can explain to Cherry why I have no more treats. Rena, thank you very much, and we will see you tomorrow. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
Kiss.
No more kisses. She's through. She's through with me. We'll see you later, folks.